You're listening to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast by RaderCo. I'm Marcey Rader, founder and chief productivity lead. This podcast's mission is to give you and your team bite-sized, time-saving, focus-boosting, health-improving tips that you can implement right away. Now, on with the show. Googling the phrase "how to focus at work" increased by 300% in the last year. Our focus is waning due to all of the rings, pings, buzzes, and haptics, the feeling that we need to always be available, and the lack of our time and technology guardrails. Folks, this is not all our fault. Social media, shopping, news apps, they're all made with hooks that get us into a behavior habit to use them. In the words of focus guru Tristan Harris of the Center for Humane Technology, we are served a bottomless bowl that eliminates the stopping cues to turn it off or click away. Think about it. Your Instagram feed is built like a casino. There's lots of movement, there's photos, there's videos playing automatically, there's comments going on, there's noises. When you think about a casino, there's flashing lights, there's noises, there are no clocks on the wall, so you don't know what time it is. The food is served 24/7. You can't see nature, and there's nothing to tell you it's time to stop. Bottomless bowl. Same with your media. Nothing says, enough already, take a shower, eat breakfast, start working. It's just an endless feed. Our response, compulsion, and even addictions are because of dopamine. This very potent molecule drives you to pursue more. It drives desire, motivation, and craving. And we get a massive hit when something grand happens. But we don't go back to baseline. If it's something big, we go below baseline. We actually stop experiencing the same level of joy and happiness because we need more and more of it. This is why some people get postpartum depression. It's why people get the honeymoon blues. It's why astronauts suffer from depression. Because seriously, what's left after space? Once you've gone up into space, that's the biggest dopamine hit you could probably get in a career. And then what? I remember feeling this way after completing Ironman. I started out with, I'm going to run one marathon, and I ran the Marine Corps. And then that wasn't enough. And I ended up running, I don't even know how many official marathons. I think 13 or 21. I really can't even remember because I competed in over 100 endurance and ultra endurance events in a decade. Ironmans weren't enough. Then I started signing up for 24-hour adventure races and then 48 hours. I needed a bigger and bigger dopamine hit. Every time we get a ring or a ping or a buzz or a haptic notification, we get a dopamine drip. Our brains get used to it and we want to feed the beast. So here are a few tricks to help you better manage your attention. Some of them using technology to save yourself from yourself and your technology, which might seem a little ironic, but using technology can help, as well as mental discipline and prep exercises to incorporate into your routine. These are not in any particular order, like one is better than the other or more important. So, number one, and here are 10 tips. Number one, use an app like Freedom. And this is freedom.to, and all of these will be linked in the show notes. This works across all devices and prevents you from going to those websites that suck your attention. You can program different periods, like keeping you out of Amazon, Instagram, and BuzzFeed during working hours, Monday through Friday. You can also just start a 25-minute block while you finish auditing a project, or this keeps you out of email, Teams, and Slack. You can customize it to tell you which ones to stay out of and for how long. When I was experimenting with it, at one point I kept myself out of Amazon throughout the day until about 6 o'clock. Well, the problem was because, I'd go on there, I'd think, oh, I need to buy toilet paper, and I'd go on there and then I'd get sucked into Amazon world. Well, the problem was I also sell my books on Amazon, and I buy office supplies, and I, might leave a book review for somebody, and then I would be not able to get into it. So you do have to think about very intentionally about your time blocks with that. And it could be that you have a reverse block where, maybe BuzzFeed is blocked 23 hours a day and you only allow yourself to look at it at lunch, something like that. Number 2, set up your screen time on Apple phones or digital wellness on Android phones to block or delay certain apps that distract you. So my screen time starts at 8 and I think it goes from 8 to 5 a.m. So after 8 p.m., there are certain apps that, I can't get into as easily. Number 3, leave your phone in another room or at least out of reach. There was a study that showed that just having your phone in your eyesight reduces your cognitive capacity by 10%. Just because we anticipate the ring, ping, or buzz. So just get it out of your sight. I mean, they have videos that show people that, just hearing somebody else's phone go off, they check their own phone. Number 4, work in time blocks. Decide on the block of time you are making your work sprint, 25 minutes, 50 minutes, 90 minutes, and write down, and the writing down is important, what you will do during that block. You want to write it down, and I have a little pad of paper beside me, and I'll just quickly write whatever the block is, 50 minutes. This is what I'm going to do. It makes you very intentional about what you're going to work on. And you don't just randomly go to your email or say, okay, what's next? You're very intentional. This is what I'm going to do. It helps you to stay focused. And then this is going to seem bananas. Point at the computer and say it out loud, whatever it is that you're going to do. Like if I say, write podcast, record podcast, write show notes. That's my block. This is like the Japanese point and call method, which I'll put a video to in the show notes. But I'm telling you, it seems silly, but it works. And then start your timer. Number 5, don't check your email first thing. Most roles do not need to hit their inbox immediately. And for the love of kittens, please don't check it in bed. Give yourself your first hour. But instead, tackle your top priority for the day. And in Brian Tracy's language, it would be eat that frog. And then you can reward yourself by checking your email. 6, think of email as a task, not a default. Not something you just go to in between all your other stuff and you keep it open all day. Stay out of your inbox, work offline if you're on Outlook, or pause with the Boomerang app. Think about processing your email 1 to 4 times daily or whatever works for your schedule. For the love of unicorns, turn off your notifications. They are not on as the default to make you more productive. They are on to get you to use it more after each dopamine hit you receive. 7, use focus music. I like video game music for concentration. That's a playlist on Spotify. I also have my own Focus 90 playlist on Spotify. I use Brain FM, which has binaural beats. So you need to use that with headphones. And then I also like the focus music on Calm. And Alanis Morissette actually has a playlist on Calm. And I love, love, love that. For advanced focus, I have invested in the Apollo Neuro device. And it's a band that you wear on your ankle or your wrist, and it emits a vibration that works with your nervous system and can help focus, recovery, energy, and sleep. And I love my Apollo Neuro. 9, wear headphones and or put up a visible sign, something to tell the people around you that you are in focus mode. I use one in the mornings during my Marcey morning magic time, which is first thing in the morning, when I'm in coaching or in meetings, or when I'm writing and recording. These are all times of the day where my husband is not to interrupt me. I don't leave it on all day because I'm not in focus mode all day. And I have a lovely client that when I went to visit her in her office, I noticed that her door hanger was on and her door was open. And I asked her about her door hanger, and she said she leaves it on all the time. Nobody respects it. I said, it's because you leave it on all the time. And so, it really is for when you are in focus mode, and be consistent with it. And you can't send mixed signals. A company that I worked with, Weber Screwdriving Systems, the shop manager said, people don't give him that time, and he needs that time. And what he decided was, when he has red headphones on, that means do not interrupt me. When he has his black headphones on, people can interrupt him. And him being in this loud shop environment, you might not think he needs focus time, but he does. And the red headphones versus black headphones, I thought was brilliant. 10, join my Focus 90 program. It is a membership program of virtual co-working. So 90 minutes once a week. We hop on Zoom. It's a dedicated time to, get that thing done, or in, my terms, get shit done. We meet on Zoom. I give a productivity tip. We write in the chat what we're going to get done in the next 80 minutes, and then we just work. Cameras are on, mics are off. In the end, we write in the chat what we did. I revisit the productivity tip, and that's it. And this works because we are intentional, it's a time block, and we're saying what we did. It also comes with a monthly Ask the Expert session where I get on Zoom for 25 minutes and people can ask me anything about productivity, clutter, and health. There are many ways to focus, and this is just, it's actually more than 10 tips, but 10 quick ones that you can implement. But I have an entire workshop dedicated to this because it is a challenge to focus at work. And if you want a deeper dive for your company or team training, please reach out and learn more at helloraderco.com/training. Now turn off this podcast, turn on some focus music and GSD. Thank you for listening to the RaderCo Health Powered Productivity Podcast. Resources mentioned are linked in the show notes. We encourage you to check out our recommendations page on helloraderco.com/recommendations, where we list all of our favorite products and services. If you found this podcast valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know that could benefit. Many of our listeners use our podcast as discussion points for team meetings. If you want tailored team training or coaching, reach us at helloraderco.com.